every bill needs an enforcer. Every bill needs somebody that's going to whip Democrats into shape and make sure that they follow along. And I am very happy today to be able to mention this. Assemblymember Miguel Santiago, as the Assembly Majority Whip, he made sure that, along with Assemblymember Gomez and everybody else and all of you, that every single Democrat voted yes on the DISCLOSE Act last year. He even somehow helped make sure, along with the rest of you, that 9 Republicans voted yes on the DISCLOSE Act. I'm not sure exactly how he pulled that off as the Democratic Majority Whip, but that shows how good a whip he is. Assemblymember Miguel Santiago, and he also brought 3 of his the newest DISCLOSE Act supporters, I see.
Wow. It is awesome to see people from all over Los Angeles here today. Yeah, I gotta tell you. And thank you, Trent, for all the hard work, everybody on the Clean Money campaign, and every single activist who's here today. And Gabrielle too. But I gotta tell you, Jimmy Gomez was really the champion who helped put this together, because it is absolutely easy to stand in front of a room of progressives and say that you support disclosure and say that you support the Clean Money campaign. But when you're in office, it's not easy to do so, because these forces are powerful. So Jimmy Gomez, and I gotta tell you, Jimmy Gomez is a champion. Stand up, Jimmy. Stand up, Gomez. Credit goes where credit is due, and that brother's been putting up the fight. And I gotta tell you, yeah, we did bring Republicans on board last year, and we're gonna need everybody's help here to continue to do so. And look, we give credit where credit is due. But when Bernie Sanders talked about it last year, he was absolutely right. We're at a critical point in our democracy. We're at a critical point in our democracy where billionaires have not only bought our economy, but are now looking to buy government. And this is serious. And we give credit where credit is due. And you know that they're not buying government because they want child care. Nope. And they're not buying government because they want a cleaner environment. And they're not buying government because they want to raise the minimum wage. Nope. They're buying government because we now know what they want. They wanted a guy like Donald Trump who's going to roll back environmental protections, who's going to roll back the wins that we've made for working families, who's going to roll back all the protections that every consumer might have. So I got to tell you, this fight this year is more real than it's ever been. Because if California doesn't step up to protect its citizens, we have nowhere else in this nation that we can look to for any sort of progressive leadership. This is it. This is going to be ground zero. Is he saying, man, Dad, you talk too long? But that's how serious this is. Because if we don't step up here, and it's only a very, very small price that we're asking here, right? Very, very small. All we want is simple disclosure. All we want is a very simple disclosure to ensure that billionaires are not buying off government. And look, as a foundation to any democracy, you need an informed electorate. And that's why this bill is absolutely critical and more important than ever in our history that we get the Disclosure Act signed and that we begin to push back on the billionaires who attempt to roll over working families. And we're going to stand by you, Mr. Gomez, and we're going to ensure that this fight goes through. And last year, here's how this thing works. Once you get 1 or 2 Republicans to come on board, then everybody comes on board. But make no mistake about it. Getting to 2/3 is not easy. Not even easy with Democrats. Because you know once you get to 2/3, then you get to 60, then you get to a different number. It's kind of like a tough vote, right? Everybody wants to be 41, but no one's going to step up. Sorry, everybody wants to be 42 or 41, but no one's going to step up and be 40, 39, 38. So we need to press really, really hard. So if you live in an area where you're represented by a Democrat, you need to reach out to them right now and tell them that this is a critical bill. If you live in an area where there's a Republican representative, you need to reach out to all your neighbors, friends, family, and start hounding those phones, pounding them, writing letters, catching them at meetings, catching them at events, and ask them who they want to protect, their constituents or the billionaires behind them. And I'll tell you, and we've seen this over the last couple of years when people are sworn in. Some of us bring our families, our kids on the floor. We've had a couple of people who brought billionaires, the same billionaires who funded campaigns against us. Isn't that right? So when you guys take a look at it, and you can take a look at the old videos of us getting sworn in this last time and in the time before that, the wealthiest billionaires who are funding campaigns against progressive Democrats are on assembly floor. Can you imagine that? They were on our assembly floor as private guests to some of those members who were elected by that money. That is one step too far in the corruption of our democracy. And we got to stand up and we got to fight back. So thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. And Gomez, seriously, we owe you one.